All right, let's talk about hair. Hair and hair follicles, actually. Um, Hair follicles are the area from which the hair grows from. And oh, there we go. Um, Hair follicles, hair is found everywhere except for the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, the sides of the fingers and toes, lips, nipples, and other external reproductive organs. Hair can grow for approximately 2 to 6 years, then it will rest for 2 to 3 months, and then it falls out. Here is an image, and you can see a hair follicle, and note that the base of the hair follicle down here is the hair root, and that's where the hair grows from. And also notice that this right here is an oil gland connected to the hair follicle, and what can happen is oil can actually be released, and it is released into the hair follicle, and that's why hair can be oily. And then also right here is the erector pili muscle, and that is what causes goosebumps. We'll talk about that later. Here's a slide showing the same thing. You can see the root, the adipose, and then down here is the region of cell division. And that's where the division starts. And then, of course, you can see some adipose tissue as well. Here's another view. You can see the hair shaft is coming out of the hair follicle here. And then there's the sebaceous gland, which is the oil gland, and it is attached to the hair follicle. And then here are several hair follicles. You can see how deep some of them are, and they're still growing. So if you think about it, you think of hair by looking at a person's head, but 98% of hair is on the general body surface, not the head. You have little tiny hairs all over your skin surface. And this is a bird's eye view of the hair follicles. So hair originates in the hair follicles, and hair follicles will project into the dermis and sometimes even deeper into the subcutaneous layer. And so then the hair root is the portion of the hair that is embedded in the skin. The hair shaft is sticking out. Here's how hair is produced. What will happen is epidermal cells at the base of the follicle divide and grow. Older cells are pushed to the surface, and these cells become keratinized and die. Their remains are what we call the hair shaft. And hair is dead, keratinized epidermal cells. So the same cells that form the outside of your epidermis or your stratum corneum are the cells that make up your hair and the same cells that make up your nails. Dead keratinized epidermal cells. That's why when a person dies, their hair remains. It's not living, so it just continues. It does not grow, but it does not immediately decay like a lot of the other parts. Here is a male pattern baldness cycle of hair loss. I don't know why I put this in here, but that is kind of what my dad looks like. Maybe that's why. And here's an up close view, and you can see the region of cell division a little closer. And again, these are epidermal cells at the base of the hair follicle, divide, cells get pushed to the surface, they become keratinized, and they die. And that is a hair shaft. Functions of hair. Well, they protect the skull, and mainly from UV light, because if you think about it, your brain is in there. You need protection. They also can cushion a blow to the head. If you think about it, if you bump your head, where your hair is versus if you bump your head where your face is, a cut would happen on the face, but not necessarily on the head where your hair is. And it provides insulation for the skull. And then there are also nose hairs, ear hairs, and eyelashes, and those perform the function of preventing things from entering those areas for protection. There is a structure called the erector pili muscle, and it goes through the dermis into the connective tissue around the hair follicle, and it actually connects to the hair follicle. And during emotional stress, fear or rage or cold, the erector pili muscle will contract and it forms goosebumps. Here you can see the erector pili muscle in pink. Here's another view of it. You drew smooth muscle tissue to represent this structure. Next is gland.